Hey everybody, it's Sammy. Welcome to my first ever Sims 4 speed build video. It was the 4th of July a few days ago, and I didn't have anything to do that night, so I decided to go on Twitter and I asked my followers to help me pick out some things for a build. They decided through polls what I should make, and the results ended up with a multi-generational home with a modern style, red exterior, a pool, laundry room, a sunroom, study, a gym, it's ready for dogs, and a greenhouse in the back on a medium-sized lot, which ended up being quite the challenge, but I think I did a pretty good job while I added in a few extras here and there. This house ended up being pretty expensive as far as simoleons go, but it's got 6 bedrooms and 4 full bathrooms, so there's plenty of room for a large family. I hope you like it. So I decided to start with the 30 by 40 lot in New Crest because that neighborhood's empty and it just made the most sense to start there. I never really build houses this big. Normally the houses I build are larger than starters, but not multi-generational households, normally enough for 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 Sims max. I don't normally play with big families. I like to stick to the small ones. Normally that's just how I am. It's easier for me to focus that way. And I like to do the involved active careers too, so that's normally why I stick with the shorter, smaller households. But since I never do this before, I kind of just went straight into the backyard, just to make sure that I had enough room for everything that was supposed to go in there. A lot of times when I build, I forget to do the backyard, so I started there first just to make sure I got everything in there and had enough room for everything that I wanted to put in there. I've only built one greenhouse before, but this one is a little bit bigger than I normally do. Did a little fiddling around with decorations and stuff, as you can see. I don't know why I wanted to put in a slip-in slide right next to the pool, but it didn't stay. It took me quite a while to figure out how exactly to make a gazebo work for the hot tub, because I didn't just want the hot tub to just be sitting on the ground. I wanted it to be more raised, and it was giving me a lot of trouble. As you can see, I spent a good amount of time on that in this part, but eventually I figured it out. Just gotta be patient with me. I remember being so frustrated when I was doing this. I kind of wish I had been recording my audio during the building of the greenhouse, because it was such a pain in the ass to get it to actually go how I wanted it to. But eventually, finally, it's still not done yet. I'm so close to getting it to look how I want it to. So close. I ended up getting rid of those little freeze thingies, I think is what they're called. I ended up getting rid of those along the sides because it looked funky with all the with the roof for the gazebo. Just adding in some plants. It's one thing I always make sure to never forget is the plants. Alright, now we're getting into the actual house. I didn't realize until after I was done with the build that I built a pool in the shape of a 1. And the house I realized was in a T shape, but the pool, I was not originally planning it for it to be in the shape of a 1. I'm not sure. That's just what I ended up going with. So here in the corner we have the sunroom, and originally it wasn't supposed to be a combination sunroom and study. I just ended up changing it, or deciding that it would be about midway through. That room next to it is going to be the gym. I kind of jump around in this quite a bit, so I apologize for that. It's not a very organized build, but then again, it was my first, so gotta cut me some slack here. Just using some big tall windows and doors. I feel like the clean lines help make it stay modern. And I also like all the light that they bring in to the natural light that they bring into the house. I feel like it adds a lot to it. those big windows from Get to Work, I didn't realize until almost all the way through the build, and you'll see me go back and be like, what's going on there? But they're tinted, so you only see part of it. Partway through them, they're blue tinted. So when you're looking out the window, you see fine, and then when you're looking in the window, it's blue. And it bugged me, but I left them because I like how large they are. Now I'm just building the laundry room in the basement. I didn't want it to be too big because there's no reason for it to be super big. It's just the laundry room. However, having that basement already there would allow for some extra growth if necessary. I really don't think this house is going to need to be expanded upon because it's massive, but again, I never ever play as generational families. I normally will, I hate to say it, I get bored so quickly in this game. I'll get inspired to start a new build or a new family or whatever, and then I'll play it for a few days and then I'll give up because I'm bad at The Sims. But, you know, it is what it is. Okay, so now here I am building a living room, or like a sitting room, a front entryway. I really like my homes to have an open concept, but I feel like if they're too open, then it's overwhelming. So what I do is I use a lot of archways and a lot of friezes, or whatever those things are called, the little columns things that are attached by columns. I use those a lot to help divide the space without closing it. I'm just making a little entryway room, like, you know, you sit there and you take your shoes off and hang your coat up, and all that good stuff. And then I'm going back to the living room. Again, I said that this is so all over the place as far as builds go, but I'm doing my best. Just adding in some windows there. I don't think I end up keeping... There we go, that's what I do. I put the wine rack above the little fireplace there, and that inspired me to add in a bar into the space next to it. Yep, there's the bar. I ended up getting rid of that picture because I like to have those little, like, racks of all the bottles and stuff. I like to have those. I feel like they look nice. Makes the space more cohesive, I think. I really didn't have a plan when I started the whole build. I just kind of went with it. Like, I knew what I needed to do as far as certain aspects, but I didn't have a plan to go forward with it. When I started, I just kind of started going. And this actually ended up taking up about 6 hours of my evening. I just got so sucked in. Granted, I took breaks and did other things in between, but my raw video footage ended up being 6 hours long. This is sped up about 1,000%, possibly more. I don't remember exactly how much. Yeah, I ended up changing this little kitchen island thing. I didn't want there to be a full breakfast bar there. I decided against it. I like to do breakfast bars in my houses normally, but I ended up going against it and struggled with these cabinets here and just ended up giving up on them. But having those cabinets there, it helps divide the space without closing it off again. Had to keep things modern because that was what Twitter decided, and what Twitter decides, Twitter gets. But I do like the look of these, like, modern kitchens. I wish I had a stove in my island like that. Here I am dividing the space again with one of those little column connector freeze thingies. They're probably not even called freezes. I really should have looked this up. Gave me a little bit of trouble, but I got it eventually. Now I'm just deciding what to do with the rest of the space. At first I thought about making there be 2 bedrooms downstairs instead of just the one, but I ended up turning that space where I was going to put the 2nd bedroom into the room with the TV. I hadn't decided where I wanted that to go. Sometimes I like them to be separate from just the plain sitting area in the front of the house, and I figured that this house would be a good time to put it in a separate spot, just because of how many Sims can live in this house. I don't remember what the family limit is, because I never encounter that as an issue. I have no idea how many Sims can live in one house at a time, but this house has got plenty of space. Just fiddling around with the lights here. I end up changing those later because those don't give off enough light. Adding in some rugs and decor. I'm just realizing this now as I'm recording. I never added in a microwave or anything to that kitchen. Oh well. Pretty easy to add in. I'll stick it in. Oh, and a trash can. I never put a trash can in either. Ugh, it's a curse. I'll put those in before I put this up on Mod The Sims. That ends up being the bathroom right there. And then I decided to extend the deck here because it would be silly if you needed to grill something to walk all the way around the house. So I decided to add a little bit more area to the deck. Struggled greatly getting that triangular thing in when there you go, got it. These fences always give me so much trouble because I want there to be a completely fenced in yard, but I also don't want the fence to be up on a foundation like the rest of the house is, so getting the foundation and the fence to fit together can be quite a pain at times. Okay, now we're back inside. All over the place. This is even disorienting for me. I apologize. But again, I was just kind of going off the top of my head at whatever I could. So we're back inside building the toddler room. I figured putting the toddler room on the bottom floor would make it easiest, just because when the babies first age up, they can't climb stairs. You have to teach them movement skill a little bit before they can climb up and down the stairs, if I remember correctly. I could be totally wrong, but I'm pretty sure that they either can't go upstairs or they're really slow going up and down stairs. So I figured putting it on the bottom floor would be the best, even though there is a toddler play area, or there will be a toddler play area up on the roof top of the house. I'm adding in stuff to the gym / yoga studio. Even though the inside didn't have to stay red, I kind of kept a red theme throughout the house. Just because I thought it looked nice. A lot of times I don't use red. It's not really one of my favorite colors, but I decided to use it a little bit more because I feel like a lot of my houses look exactly the same because they're all monochromatic or blue or green because I really like those colors, but red I feel like looks really nice in this house in particular. Just adding in some archways and scooching some windows around and stuff. See, since we have a fireplace in the other sitting room of the house, I didn't want to put an actual fireplace in here, but with the holiday stuff, the free patch or like pack or whatever, they have a faux fireplace mantle, which I used in this little living room to make a little stand, and I felt like it looked really nice. I ended up putting in some succulents from that little wall hanging plant piece. I put those in where the quote fireplace would be, and I thought it ended up looking really nice. Just getting some curtains in the dining room, painting the walls. I kept it like a pretty basic color throughout, but I like that brick behind the TV. It gives it a nice appearance of there being an actual fireplace there almost. Generally, I like to keep the walls of the inside bright because it makes the rooms feel bigger and taller, or at least that's what I know from my extensive hours watching HGTV. Now, I think it was here when I decided to make the sunroom into an office at the same time. It just made sense. And, you know, they work really well as a dual space. I would like my real life office to have a very sunny, bright feel to it. Helps keep you going while you're working hard times. Alright, now we're building the upstairs. I'm not sure what was going on with my machine, but it was giving me a little bit of trouble getting this to work. You'll see that the floor disappeared, and I'm not sure if it was the actual floor disappearing or if it was just a graphical glitch, because it could have been either. So I'm going right in. I decided when I first started the Twitter poll, I said like, what do you want the outside element to be? And I had pool, basketball court, and toddler play area listed. And pool technically won, but the second place was for all three. So I decided to do pool down in the actual yard, and then I decided, since it's a modern house, a lot of modern houses don't have like normal hipped roofs, so I decided to put a rooftop terrace up there instead, and it was the perfect spot for the basketball court and toddler play area and swing set. Don't worry, I do put a fence around it, so it's not unsafe or anything. I'm just going around and adding a little bit of a little fence around the bottom part, and then a door heading upstairs. I left most of the deck open air, but I wanted the stairs to be covered at least, just in case. I love those glass roofs that got added in that patch recently. Just putting in the rooms, kind of just going with it a little bit. In. Those two little square rooms end up being closets from the get-together pack. For the parents' room and then the grandparents' room. So I ended up putting those. One thing that I struggle with a lot of the times when I'm building is windows. I want things to look right, but I don't want things to be so symmetrical that it feels sterile, but I still want it to look good from the outside as well as the inside. And that's something I struggle with a lot. So what I've started doing, I actually took a little tip from the Sim Supply, which is a big YouTuber. He does speed builds a lot. But he'll build the whole house, put the windows in and then do all the interior. So I've been trying to do that a little bit more, and I feel like it ends up working out a lot better. I end up working around the windows rather than putting windows in and working around the furniture on the inside, which is what I used to do a whole lot of. Adding some curtains in for the bathrooms. I think in all of the bathrooms except for the one downstairs, they have a separate tub and shower, which I think is just like really nice and classy. I realized after I built all of this that I totally forgot to add flooring to the guest bedroom, or what ends up being the guest bedroom later. But when I went back to take screenshots, I noticed that they were missing a floor. It's just a concrete, like, generic floor, but I fixed it afterwards, so it still looks concrete, but don't worry, it's fixed now. Just didn't want to go and re-record any footage because, oh my god, this took so long. But it was fun. I had a great time. I think I'm going to do this again. Not sure when, but I do want to do it again. It was a lot of fun. Just randomly adding in lights because I'm good at forgetting lights. Doing all the wallpapers real quick. Trying to decide what I wanted to do with each room specifically. So I go into this pink room. I really thought it was cute and artsy, so I decided to make it into a teen bedroom with a writing desk and an easel. Curtains. I really, really like how those curtains look. And this room I ended up using as a children's bedroom, either just for 2 kids or for twins, boys or girls, doesn't matter. Was a pretty easy one to get done. Adding in the nightlight because it gives them a good moodlet if you do. And then this room right here I think is probably my favorite one because everything's all like vintagey. And I figured it'd be a good room for grandma or grandpa. It's the only room in the house where things are more old style, but I like it a lot. It feels really cozy. Then this room right here, this is the one where I forget to do the floors, but I figured this would make a good guest room or just a generic room. I didn't put a desk in there because I figured it would be more for a guest and less so for like a teen or whatever, but it could easily be changed if need be. And then here I got the parents' room, and I went with, again, the modern-y style. I like those bar carts from Vintage Glamour stuff, I think is what those ones are from. I don't remember. It's really hard for me to add art to this room. I love this bathtub full of succulents that came with Strangerville. I want that in real life. Turn on the sheets to put things where I want them. I try to avoid doing that because a lot of times when they have placement constrictions, it's because the Sims can't get around it because they're dumb and don't know how to move their bodies. But, you know, sometimes you just gotta do it anyways. Okay, up here I struggle a lot with figuring out how to get these string lights to work, and eventually I just gave up because they didn't fit right, and I wasn't really sure how to like get them to work. So I decided to go with a few just post lights and lanterns instead. And now we're working on the back patio. I wanted to put in the grill and some outdoor seating as well, so you can eat outside if you wanted to. I like that big table that came with laundry day stuff. Added in a little clothing dryer rack thing. I don't know what I was doing with that awning thing. It looked so weird. I don't even know why I picked it out. Got a little bird bath. I was trying to make some sort of like awning part work for the walls and the windows and stuff, but I ended up ditching it because it just didn't look right. But I add in those little lounge chairs and a beach towel. Doing some paths, laying just terrain paint. Adding in some trees and other foliage. Just to add in some last finishing touches. I think they look really nice. Got a mailbox and a trash can, some lights. This was a last minute change. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with this, but I didn't want it to be open. I wanted that little deck in the front to be covered, but I wasn't really sure what to do with the space up there. But I didn't want to make a deck because a deck in the front would look kind of funky. So I just ended up putting some of those little flowers just to dress up the space without giving it too much. And then I also covered up those side windows in the front just to give them a little bit more privacy. Yeah, the windows are tinted, but still I wanted to add a little bit more green to the front, and I thought that was the best way to do it. And I think that that's just about it. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that that's just about it. The last thing I did was decide all the lot traits. Oh, no, adding in some art. I was wrong. The walls were pretty bare. They did need all this art. I wish the shadows scaled up with stuff when you resized them, because I really liked that collage of stuff, but that's all right. I wanted to use those paintings so bad, and I ended up moving things like 4 times just to make them work. Adding in some lights to the gym. Didn't end up being the ones I wanted, but I fixed them. Some lights in the kitchen. I changed those to give more light. And then in the entryway, now I'm just making sure that all the areas are lit so that they're not just stuck in the dark. Okay, now I think that's it. Just choosing the lot traits. I put in chef's kitchen, good schools, and natural light. So here we just have some pictures. This is the front entryway, and then that's the front windows. here we have the entryway looking out of the house. And then again, looking into the house, you can see the stairs and then the door to the basement and then a little bit of the sitting room. And then here's the view of the sitting room. Those big glass doors going into the sunroom and the study. Here's the bar. The slatted door goes into the gym. The door next to the slatted door goes into the bathroom. There's a piano. I have a violin and a guitar in there too. These are the two doors that lead into the TV room. Some art in between. Here's the close-up of the fireplace facade with the plants in the inside. And then that wall. There's a pet bed in the corner. And there's more wall art and a view of the sofa. And here's the dining room. I love that sunburst clock that came with vintage stuff. And then here's the kitchen. The island stove. Some view of the wall art that's in the kitchen. Then here's the toddler's room. And then another view of the toddler's room with the toy box and a bookshelf. Here we've got the downstairs bathroom. You can't see the toilet, but it's there, I promise. And here's the view of the gym. There's a yoga mat and 2 exercise machines. Here's the study. And then on the flip side, it's the same room, but this is the sun porch. Got a nice little wicker sofa and some plants. Here's the upstairs teen bedroom. And another view of the teen bedroom. Got some nice plants and the easel. Here's one of the upstairs bathrooms. And then we turn around here. It's still the same upstairs bathroom. Then here's the kids' room. And then another view of the kids' room. Here's the master bedroom. Got some plants, got a little an ottoman to sit on at the edge of the bed. There's the bathtub with all the succulents in it. I love that. I think that's so cute. Repurposed. And then that door goes into the master's ensuite bathroom. Excuse me. Here's the bathtub in the ensuite. There's a view of the shower. The sink and toilet. Those are both from the Get Famous. Here's the view of Grandma's bedroom, the vanity table for her, and then a nice bed in the closet. Here we've got another upstairs bathroom, and then that same bathroom, just a different view. There's the guest room. I put the same dark wood flooring in there after I realized that it was missing flooring, but that was before or after I took pictures. Here's a view of the hallway. That double door down there goes into the master bedroom, and then these other doors go into bathrooms or bedrooms. Here's a view of the upstairs patio. It's got the basketball court, the swing set. Here's the downstairs patio. Got a place to sit. The pool, and then you can see the gazebo in the back with the hot tub on it. And then here's the greenhouse. Front of the house, just a bigger overview. There's pictures of the laundry room in the basement. It's the washer, the dryer, the wash basin if you wanted to hand wash. Then there's a sink down there and some storage shelves. So top-down view of the laundry room. And we've got the top-down view of the second floor right there, and the patio top-down. All right. Well, thank you for watching. If you'd like to see me do this again, feel free to give me a like or comment. I'd love to hear your suggestions. Yeah, thank you again for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more, and then there's a little card at the end if you want to keep watching one of my stream backlogs. I stream on Twitch every so often, and yeah, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, y'all.